Hello, this is Olivier. Well, on the aftermath of the Trump week, there's a couple of things we can say. First of all, let me show you my signals. I was up all night on the election night. It was quite an experience to see the Dow drop 1,000 points and stay very cool, and see the spike in the dollar and wonder what's going on, and then just stay calm and realize there's something that can be done, and it's not all that bad. In fact, it's none of my business, American politics, but I can tell you that Trump is very good for the stock market, having seen him many times on CNBC as he likes to talk, the same as me. He used to call in the morning and gave some pretty good ideas. Quite interested in the stock market. And a few days later, after this 1,000 drop, which I think should be investigated because it's not normal that they drop the Dow Jones 1,000 points, reopen the market at zero the next day. I mean, how many people were margined out? I don't know. That's why we stick to currency. But let me show you something about my signal, because I have my usual psycho stalker, which actually brought up a point this week, and I'm going to show you something that he does not understand and that should be understood about signals. You can see here that this is what you want to look at. This is the risk factor you have in my signal, okay? Now you can see that I put in money, okay, because I will repeat my theory on signals. If you go to Fidelity in New York and you say to the Series 7 holder, which I am one of, okay, I've done the exam. I've been a financial advisor for most of my life. I've been an investment banker. I've been a trader. I reached the role of director in big banks. I'm probably the most qualified, and I have an MBA, which is, 5 years of university, a thesis on the stock market. So I think I know what I'm talking about compared to these people on park benches with iPhones, trying to I don't know, show themselves off on the. They always go to the most popular products, always come on Fed days or at 2 o'clock in the morning, and it's just very tiring. And I wish MT4 would do a lot more about it. But anyway, let me show you here. This is what you want to look at on a signal. I mean, basing a buy on a signal or you know back testing is probably not the best idea. That's not how you buy an EA. It gives you a good idea, but it's not perfect technology. But this is pretty good. This will show you, okay, you can say anything you want about my signal, but it's a perpetual hedge, which, it's very difficult to explain to most laymen. But if somebody wants to talk to me about it on PMs, it's a great technique that's used by most hedge funds. Now, if you look at the relative drawdown, okay, it's by balance, it's been €9 on this signal. €9, okay? That's not even taken. There has been no loss taken on this signal, okay? And I can perpetuate that for years. So this is my technique. And by equity, it's 38%. But, okay, so you go heavy drawdown, 38%. But look how much it is. €21, because the signal was at $50 at the time. It's normal that I started a signal with $50, and when the risk goes down to 8%, that I add money. I'm not adding money when the risk is at the highest. Well, I did a little bit here. But I'm adding a lot of money when the risk is at the lowest. Okay? And if you look at the MFE and MFE distribution graphs, they're fantastic. They're fantastic. This is what you want to look at. Okay? Don't fall into these people that have no clue. They don't even have a high school diploma, and they tell you how to run things. It's amazing. how they're allowed to even make a comment. I think everybody should have their identities checked. I have my name. It's my real name, you know, and why should people be able to come in under different names? Anyway, uh, let's talk about this week because this week's very interesting in that we have had what I call spike trading. Let me find. First of all, the Renko chart. Now, I'm putting up Renko charts not because I mean I can give you a free Renko system, but look how clearly it makes things. It's always amazed me, and I've had a lot of trouble making bots do this because when you get in the let's see an example here, these kind of times you start giving up on Renko when the bands are very, very narrow, and you get these sort of, a lot of, because Renko would usually buy here and get stopped out, and you start going Renko doesn't work. And then all of a sudden you get this ba-boom, you know, didn't miss here, long time. So I prefer using Renko, even though I've tried many, many, many models, and I do have uh, quite a few EAs that I work, usually to give me an entry. But the last few months, that's why the range, my range module is, and my range robots are doing so well, because it's all about ranging, isn't it? Here you had a definite pattern that was broken, but spotted by Renko and spotted by my trend module. Okay, so this is what I really want to show you today. And you don't need 100 million trades. You need one good trade. This is Trump night, okay? I was up, and guess what happens? You get this Trump wins Florida, okay? And this is my BBSO scalper, $2,270. Okay, look what it can do for you. This method is timeless. No use calling me a scammer. It's there, right in front of your eyes. This is what happens. You don't need 100 million trades. Look at that. It caught the spike. It didn't do anything wrong. It caught the spike. Once the momentum was on, it sold. Okay? And this is where it exited. In fact, I got a little bit trigger happy and probably exited around here. So that's why you're not seeing the exit arrow. But obviously, this is an amazing trade. It depends how many contracts you had. I prefer using it, as you see, on one order. Look, the deviations went up to 50 and 2.75. Okay, no other EA is going to tell you that. Okay, that deviation has completely changed because some big event is happening. This is the adaptation. This is the self-optimization. This is what's wonderful about this. Whatever anybody says, it's a wonderful, wonderful way to trade. It's great. Sometimes you need to be patient, and sometimes it might not catch if you don't have an ECN account. Say some other accounts didn't catch this, and I'm trying to figure out why. Because they were market-making accounts, and brokers play around. I don't know. But this is what I'm talking about. Now, what do traders do? This is called fading the spike. Okay, a real professional, these spikes happen. A real professional doesn't try and buy like these news robots, etc. Put a pending order here, put a pending order there. It doesn't work because when you get in the fast market, your order won't be. First of all, your order can become a market order, and you probably get, a terrible price. Okay, you need certain things to happen. In this case, there was a breakdown here, but that's not always what my robot will do because there's 270 lines of code of what it will do up here. But I will definitely tell you that it needs to be above the optimized band to sell, and it needs to be below here. For instance, could have been a buy, but maybe not confirmed. I'm not sure. Maybe it needs another confirmation. Okay, and the bands are very narrow, so you're going to get a squeeze one way or another again here, either up on a short covering thing, because you can have a 50% retracement, or further down, which probably will happen. So the robot will catch it, and you can. This is 24 hours a day. Now, what happened to me is I was sitting there like, oh God, what do I do? And the robot. That's why I talk about a structure. The robot went. The robot went and did this trade, and I said, this is a great trade. So I put a lot more money on the trade. And the next day I was very happy. I mean, at this stage, I had some long US, and I was getting very worried. But this happened, and I trust my machines, as you should. Everybody should be using this method. If you're a beginner, this is a wonderful way to start trading. I'm telling you. And if you're a professional, why worry? Why get this ultra complicated robots? This is such a simple technique that uh, works every time, and it's based through my observations. It's nobody else does it. Who's going to have this optimization program? Okay, this will give you an indication. It optimizes 2,000 bars back every 2,000 bars, it'll optimize back. Okay, standard deviation will change. At the moment, it's 52.75 because we had a huge event. But look, it's narrowing again, so you'll see probably the next optimization something else. It optimizes steps if you want to do a basket. It optimizes your this has got an ATR stop, which is based on volatility, which is probably worth the price of the EA itself because ATR stops are great. You take profits, etc. is all, and I have not only one module, okay, and of course I get influenced by trolls, so these are more sophisticated modules. False, I have breakout module false and volatility module false, because trolls have discouraged me. It's too complex for them to understand, so I'd rather put on my page just use the main module, which is really what's making your bread and butter right now. Okay, but let's talk about the technique. Let's say it manually. This is called fade a spike. Okay, it is probably the most used technique in hedge funds. Okay, hedge funds don't try and guess what's going on here to get up here. What they do is they wait for a movement like that, and it's usually retail. Sorry to say, it's usually small people. It's very small contracts. And retail brings it up. And what happens? Well, here you get a doji, so that helps you. What happens is you want to fade the spike, and why turn off bots on news when you can do things like this manually or with my robot? This is a great, people who turned it off on Trump Day are going to regret not having this trade. It didn't buy up here. It shorted here. Okay, and this is what a manual trading would do. Maybe he would have done it here. Maybe he would try to guess what's going on, but it's better to get a confirmation, isn't it? Here you didn't even have a breakdown below the band. Here you got a breakdown below the band, and you have a trend filter. If the trend filter was correct, it was probably indicating down because you had enough momentum here, enough volume. Then it said go ahead. And that is a trade I will talk for a long time because it made me a lot of money and saved my account. Unfortunately, it doesn't save every account because you need a little bit of room to be able to do that. That's why my signals, which are so criticized, have 1,000% margin. So the predictions of my signals blowing up have been, let's say I've got one that's been going on for 8 months, not 1 month negative, and every day there's somebody saying it's going to blow up because they can't see the positions. They don't know what's in there. They don't know what hedging means. They have no clue. Hedge fund. So, if you have no clue, if you haven't bought my products and you don't know what's going on, please stay off my page. Okay? Just say you don't like it, you don't like me, and just go. All right? Simple as that. So, I hope I've brought you another thing you can do is when you see a big spike like this, you should take a little position. Okay, 15 minutes,